And Jesus says something's greater. You're missing it all, guys. Something's greater. And in Matthew 12:7, this verse was just used a few chapters back, I think in 11 or 10. And he kept bringing this to their attention. And what he's basically saying to them, the Pharisees, the religious leaders, is you are missing the whole point. They're actually the rebels against God. And you got to know when you're rebelling against God and when you're rebelling against man. But I'm telling you what, many times when you're following God, it might seem like every person is against you. But you can have every person reject you and everything reject you and be perfectly accepted and walking in the blessing of God. The cross of Jesus Christ proves that. He went around doing good. He never did any wrong. And yet the world crucified him. The world crucified him, but he committed himself to God who judges righteously. And he says this, if you had known what these words mean, and these words come out of the book of Hosea, Hosea chapter 6 and verse number 6, and he uses this twice, and one time previously Jesus says, go and learn what this means. And then he says, if you had known what these words mean, I desire what? Mercy, not sacrifice. When you get sacrifice-centered, you're missing the whole point. When you get law-centered, you're missing the whole point. All you can see is what people do, but you miss the lawgiver. And the law wasn't given for other people, it was given to you. There's one law and one lawgiver, and he says to love your neighbor as yourself. This is the book of James chapter 2. He said, you guys are running around judging everybody like you're the lawgiver. You're not the lawgiver. You are to be under law as well. If you're using the law, running around beating people on the head, what the law said is love God and love your neighbor as yourself. And what the religious people of the day had missed was mercy. God doesn't desire sacrifice. God loves mercy. That's what this house ought to be, is a house of mercy. He's a God of mercy. In our heart, there has to be a heart of mercy. And you have to rebel against the things in your life that are putting sacrifice first and mercy second. You need mercy. People need mercy. Mercy, mercy, mercy. What does God love? He loves mercy. When you get on your knees and you say, oh, get him, Lord, he says, I'm going to get him, and I'm going to get him with a full blast of love. I'm going to get him, and I'm going to get him with a full dose of mercy. Because that's what I like. What are you doing over there? Oh, I just pray, God, you get us out of this hellhole. Tell my neighbors to turn their stinking music down. I mean, this whole world, it's just me, Lord. And you start getting very judgment-centered and very critical. And wouldn't it be a thing to get up to heaven and see Jesus, and you're like, he's going to get him now. And he says to you, didn't you ever read? Like almost like you can get rewarded. I read the Bible 104 times. Yeah, but you were kind of missing some of the stuff that was in there. He takes this one little phrase right here and he blankets the whole Bible in it. And so when you start reading and you start thinking that this is a manual of God telling people what to do and people how to live, and it's a how-to book and it's a rules book, and you're just going to run around and beat people on the head with it, you got to rebel against that stuff and you got to run after mercy.